you and she needs me. She needs each of us. So please join me in supporting Leah Phifer for Congress. In just a moment, Leah's going to get up here and talk with us. But before she does, I just want to remind everybody that there's plenty of opportunity to volunteer for the campaign. There's a sign-up sheet over here. And she needs money. These things cost money, so anything you can give, 25 bucks, 100 bucks, 2,700 bucks, we'll take it. But seriously, any amount helps. Anything you can do to sign up and volunteer for the campaign would be greatly appreciated. And now, without any further ado, I'm pleased to present our next Congresswoman in the 8th District, Leah Phifer.
Wow, I didn't really realize how beautiful you all looked until I stood up here and was able to see all your faces. Thank you so much, and thank you for the kind words, Sue and Jerry and Abby. I really, really appreciate you all being here tonight after the Vikings game, and made it through. So I just am so honored to be standing in my hometown of Two Harbors here. Here at the beginning of this journey. So just to kind of give you an idea for a lot of our Two Harbors folks here, I grew up just a few blocks from here. Kitty corner from the John A. Johnson Elementary School, okay? And I grew up in a family that wasn't really political. My mom built her own small business, Trading Connections. My dad worked at the taconite plant in Silver Bay. My grandparents built Sherry's Kitchen. You may know it now as the Vanilla Bean. And my other grandparents invested 30 years in the Ely school system. I am really quite proud of the accomplishments and the investments that my family has made in this region. And I am incredibly proud to stand here today as I seek your support as I run for Congress in the 8th District. So as I mentioned, we weren't really a political family. We are kind of this strange combination of Republicans and Democrats and independents, and I think, Grandma, you're a libertarian, yes? So, we're just sort of this hodgepodge group. Politics never really defined us. We were doers and makers. We were small business owners, and we worked in taconite plants. So growing up, I didn't really know how I fit in this family of doers and makers. What was I supposed to be? So I was quite excited when at about 12 years old, my parents sat me down and they said, we are going to tell you what we expect of you. And I thought, finally, some clarity, some sort of career path. They're going to tell me what I should be. So my mom and dad sat me down in the house in Two Harbors, about 12 years old, and they said, we expect you to be a good citizen. And I thought, what kind of career path is that? I thought, what about doctor, lawyer? I mean, how do I work with good citizen? And it really wasn't until I grew older that I realized how difficult it is to be a good citizen. Being a good citizen means actually seeing when your neighbors and friends are hurting and doing something about it, even if that means going outside your comfort zone. For me, that meant leaving my comfort zone. That meant acknowledging that even though I worked in public service, I wasn't serving to the best of my ability. I wasn't being the best citizen I could be when my friends, when my neighbors, when my family, when my country was hurting. So I left. I left the FBI a few months ago, and I left a career in national security that I loved. And I got out of my comfort zone because I wanted to improve the laws I'd been enforcing. I wanted to improve the lives I'd been touching. And I wanted to do it in the area where we need it most, in our nation's capital, in Congress right now. So I didn't have a manual. I wasn't really sure how I was going to do this. I Googled it, how to run for Congress, and didn't find a whole lot that helped. So I just got on my motorcycle. And I did the only thing I knew how to do, which was listen. So I got on my bike, I traveled to all 18 counties this summer, I put on 7,000 miles, and I connected with hundreds, if not thousands of people. And I listened. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green. I didn't ask party affiliation, I just asked what mattered to them. And what I found was a whole lot of people trying to figure this out too. There are a whole lot of people in our district who are trying to figure out how we can pull together and make the changes that we need in this country. We are not alone. A lot of the folks I met this summer that are trying really hard to figure this out are sitting in this room right now. So I really wanted to bring a little bit of unity. Bring a little bit of unity tonight. And that's what I'm going to talk about a little more tonight, is this healing and this unity that we really need in our district, in our towns, in our country. We need a lot more of this. So as you look around tonight, and there's all kinds of folks here, Republican, Democrat, Independents, we're all here tonight because we believe that we do need to come together and that we can't do this alone. So I want to start by I just want to finish up by talking about 4 things that we all have in common that I heard as I traveled the district. No matter who I talked to, no matter the party affiliation, no matter the part of the district we were in, everyone can agree that our children deserve to grow up in safe neighborhoods with access to clean water and clean air. Our parents and our grandparents deserve to grow older with dignity, which includes reliable access to health care, not fighting with insurance companies. We can all agree that if you're working full-time in this country, you should be making a living wage that can put a roof over your head and food in the pantry. We can all agree on that. And lastly, we can all agree that we can't do this alone. No single party, no single person, no single demographic can make the changes that we desperately need. We need each other, we need to do this together, and we need to acknowledge that we all know that we all do better when we all do better. Yeah. Those 4 things that we have in common, if you promise to remember those 4 things, I promise to be a relentless advocate for you in our nation's capital. I promise that even if we disagree, I will always be available to you. I will always be here to talk through our differences and find a path forward together. I promise that no matter where I end up, no matter what job I end up in, I will always be here fighting beside you, working harder to become the best citizen that I can be. Yeah. Thank you so much for your support.